Bonjour, everybody. This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 143 on YouTube. So, I want to thank you guys for listening to the episodes on this podcast, on this one, and the Tiggy Maximus Talks on Spotify. Thank you guys for following, subscribing. Thank you for the donations. If you want, there's a link on my Spotify episodes where you can make a small donation towards the podcast. Anything is appreciated. Um, Today's a big day. UFC 295 happening in New York. Two championship fights tonight, and the main event is Jiri Prochazka, former light heavyweight champion. He's going up against Alex Pereira, former middleweight champion, student of Glover Teixeira, former light heavyweight champion. Um, in a way, Alex Pereira is defending the honor of his mentor, Glover Teixeira, when he lost his championship to Jiri Prochazka. Barely beat him, but Jiri was able to dig deep, find a way to submit, tap out Glover Teixeira, and become your new light heavyweight champion. But unfortunately, he got hurt after winning the title, and he had to vacate the title. Um, and then, of course, Ankalev fought Jan Blachowicz for the vacant light heavyweight championship, but that ended up being a draw. That Ankalev won that fight. Judges didn't think so. Then it came to Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. Jamal Hill won the championship, and he also got hurt after winning the championship and had to vacate the title as well. So it got down to a couple of, I guess you could say, number one contenders matches. You got Blachowicz going up against Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira won by decision. Good victory. I guess Ankalev was kind of in the consideration too, but um, I don't think this was actually part of it, but Ankalev did get a fight. He finally fought after some time away, and he fought Johnny Walker, but that one ended up as a no contest because in the first round, very early, Ankalev threw a knee at the head of a grounded opponent of Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker had a palm on the mat, so after it landed, the knee landed on the head. Doctor had asked Johnny Walker, "Do you know where you are?" So they're in Abu Dhabi, and I guess you could say it is a desert. Um, the answer that Johnny Walker gave the doctor was in the desert, but because I guess language barrier or the fact that he did not say the actual like country or city, um, that gave the doctor reason to stop the fight. Johnny Walker is not fit to continue this fight. So yeah, that was messy. And then so after all that, there's no champion. So they decide to put together, well, Jury is healthy. Alex Pereira did beat the former champion, and they, I guess, they're the only two available. So 295, New York, light heavyweight championship on the line. Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira. I like both fighters. Um, I can't decide which one I want to win or who I think is going to win because it can go either way. I like Alex Pereira, kickbacks and background, hard striker. Um, he gets locked in on you when he starts to get a groove with his strikes. But he does leave openings for those clutch strikes from his opponent, and one being, Israel Adesanya found an opening when he was getting pummeled along the cage, and then he found the opening to knock out Pereira, turn his lights out, and took back his championship, middleweight championship from him. Um, Unfortunately, Israel Adesanya did lose his championship afterwards to Sean Strickland. So, who, by the way, was knocked out by Alex Pereira earlier. Um, Anywho, um, and then you got Jury. I mean, Jury, I liked him coming up the rankings, and then he got his title fight, dominated on his way up, and then he got to fight Glover. He was losing the fight to Glover. I was very frustrated because I thought he was going to win. And it looked like Glover was on his way to winning the championship, defending his championship against Jury. But Jury found a way to win, submitted the former champion, but got hurt. And this is his chance at redemption. Get back the title he never lost. So I like his style. He has knockout power as well. Spinning elbow. It's very lethal. And he has a submission game as well, I guess. But I don't like his takedown defense. It kind of frustrates me. Anywho, um, if I had to pick one, I'm going to be picking Jiri Prochazka to win the light heavyweight championship tonight. His hand will be raised. And I guess welcome a challenge from Ankalev or Jamal Hill. So those should be fun fights. It's kind of a muggy picture, but at least with tonight's fight, hopefully it'll clear some picture and we'll have a champion and the title won't be vacated again anytime soon. So it's cursed title since Bones Jones dropped it. So um, co-main event, another championship match. You got it's for the interim in heavyweight championship, and you got Sergey um, Pavlovich going up against Tom Aspinall. I like both fighters. I like how they were both coming up. They were on monster winning streaks. Unfortunately for Tom Aspinall, he had to take a TKO loss to Curtis Blades. I think he would have beaten him actually, but he ended up, I guess, torn ACL. I think it was messed up his knee, and but he's fighting his way back. He won his last fight. He wanted to fight Sirigan, but Sirigan is not in this picture for the heavyweight championship, and they needed an interim. So my guess is that you know Tom Aspinall, Pavlovich, two guys who are doing pretty well in the heavyweight division. I mean, they pretty much beat everybody else other than Bones Jones and Sirigan. Um, so I mean, they were the two best candidates for this interim title, and because the champ Bones Jones got hurt during a sparring session, which canceled the fight between Miocic and Bones Jones. And because, I guess Miocic only wanted to fight Bones Jones, and I guess there was no other replacement that was willing to fight Miocic, you know, next best thing. Um, Two fighters are willing to do an interim fight. So, that is a great one. Um, I mean, I do like Tom Aspinall. Um, Sir Pavlovich, they both can win in the first round. They both have quite a engine on them, so they could probably go 3, 4, 5 rounds probably. So you might see some high level action. This probably be most likely a strike fest, so a pure stand up game. It's not too bad actually. I like that, but I am leaning towards um, Sergio Pavlovich. So I think he's going to win by decision tonight, and Pavlovich will be your interim heavyweight champion, and I guess a fight down the road with Bones Jones for his heavyweight championship. I guess that fight might actually happen before Bones Jones considers retirement. I mean, these guys, I don't, I think they have a lot in the tank, and hopefully you'll see some great fights before one of them calls it quits. Another great fight on the card. You got Mackenzie Dern going up against Jessica Andrade. This is back down at the strawweight division. I know Jessica Andrade has been fighting at flyweight, but she's going to come back down for strawweight fights. It was a great fight, and it was a great fight for Mackenzie Dern because Mackenzie Dern is just making way up to the rankings in strawweight 115, but she has some hiccups. She lost a few fights here and there, but still a big name, and she's only gonna get better. Just don't try to grapple with her because you might pay for it, and if you can hold out long enough, hopefully you collected some strikes, some points, and beat her on points and for a decision. So Andrade, she has clubbing blows, but if you can neutralize her striking, you could probably beat her in other areas. So I like this fight a lot, but I am picking Mackenzie Dern to beat Jessica Andrade in this one. Um, Next we have um, Farvola. Farvola is going up against um, uh, Farvola. Let's just say Farvola is not going to win. Um, the next fight on the main card, it's Sabatini versus Lopez. Lopez, yeah. This should be a good fight though. But I am kind of leaning towards Sabatini to win this one, but that one will probably go all 3 rounds. Um, there was another fight on there too. It's an interesting fight. Ricci versus Godinez. So that's an interesting fight. I am picking Ricci to win that one. Should be a good fight with Godinez. I'll probably go the distance too. So, um, oh, I forgot to mention. Uh, other than watch those fights, follow those picks, have some good food, good company, watch some good action. Also, don't forget watch some good comedy shows. I actually got to experience the Wonder Museum here in San Diego, downtown San Diego, on Market and Fifth Street, and you have a lot of rooms, great pieces of artwork. Um, you got the lights, changing, and the colors are changing. So there's one room where you walk in, mirrors are all around you, but it's pretty dark, and you have like this luminescent blue color just moving around on the ground, which is visually appealing. So that's pretty awesome. They had another room where it looks like a house, small house, and there's a table in the middle in the see-through, and there's a string that you have to pull to initiate the artwork that's inside this home, which is all like sounds of thunder, lightning, and all these shapes, colors, lights changing. So it's pretty cool because it kind of goes around the unit, the housing unit. So, and with the sound, with the thunder and lightning, is a nice touch, and the colors just moving around. I like that piece of masterpiece they got going there. There's another room where I think it's like metallic, silver, and gray, and you have a screen surrounded by mirrors, and it's like you use a lot of layers, a lot of shades of pink. So that one's like a live art piece, and with the reflective silver and gray, it was kind of trippy because all this mirrors and you're seeing yourself and you see the artwork and you saw all these like textures. um, it really looks really nice though. um, Very visually appealing. There's another room where it's like a bunch of, I guess you could say, lighted beads, hanging from the ceiling, different colors. They change colors, and it reminds me of jellyfish when they change colors in different environments. So um, it's kind of cool going through the bees with the lights changing. Got some good video content. So um, there's another room where I think it's like peepholes at different levels, and it showed different artworks, visualizations. That was pretty cool. There was one room where I think you had to follow along the walls because the artwork is with the shape changing, the lights changing, is going along the wall, and you have to follow all the four walls per se. Really cool visualization. Um, Great museum. Um, um, and honestly, I like museums like that where it's like it's live, it's moving, and somewhat interactive. But I have to go with my good friend, the comic Melissa Wiseman. Thanks for keeping me company in that museum. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time. And then what else? Oh, I actually went to the San Diego Wave playoff soccer game. Um, the San Diego Wave went against the OL Reign, which is from Seattle, Washington. And this was a semifinals matchup, so whoever won this matchup was going to go to San Diego for the final against Gotham FC, who just happened to beat, I believe it was Portland. Um, yeah. So that game went into overtime. Gotham beat Portland 1-0. And in this game, that when I went to Snapdragon Stadium, best team in the country, best team in the league, or North America, and there's 12 teams in the National Women's Soccer League. But I mean, the top two teams get a bye in the first round, so into the semifinals, and the other four teams have to fight it out. But the OL Reign has had the number of the San Diego Wave, and nothing was different about this one because they stifled San Diego the entire night. Um, both sides didn't give each other great chances, but San Diego had some great chances, but they were misfiring. They couldn't get a handle on the ball when it's floating into their range to attack and kick into the goal. The goalie saw everything, wasn't really surprised at all. Um, but unfortunately, San Diego Wave did give up a goal. I would say, is a near impossible goal because the player from the OL Reign started the kick from the end line. It was somewhere between the corner kick area and the goal. So somewhere in that little area, and because the soccer post goal is lined up with the end line, if you kick in a straight line, you're not going to get it into the goal. I mean, the post is in the way. But the soccer player from the OL Reign curved it, and the defense of San Diego thought this ball was going to go out of bounds past the goal, but it curved and it caught the post, and it bounced inward towards the goal, and that was the goal for the OL Reign in the 47th minute. So unfortunately, that was the only goal of the game. I did see Alex Morgan. That was, pretty cool to see in person. I mean, she is the face of our San Diego soccer team, and quite possibly the face of U.S. women's soccer. Unfortunately, OL Reign is going to be playing for the championship in San Diego. Too bad San Diego Wave is not playing in their own championship game. San Diego is hosting Gotham and OL Reign, so it's happening right now, actually. Anywho, um, but great experience at that San Diego Wave soccer game. I wish they would have won, but unfortunately they didn't. But the San Diego Wave is going to look strong for next year. So they'll probably be in title contention for next year anyway. Um, oh yeah, and my experience at the Wonder Museum, um, great place to go to. I recommend it. It's worth your time. You only need to spend like probably no more than an hour to visit 7 or 8 rooms. Um, yeah, go with a friend if you want. I would rate my experience there at the Wonder Museum, San Diego, 9 out of 10. All right, guys. Next time I talk to you guys, I'll probably talk about Chargers football, comedy shows, some food places I've been to, and stay tuned for that. So I'm gonna go out and watch UFC 295, get some of the guys together, probably watch the pictures, Richard Mosquitoes, Carmen Mountain. So close by. Um, it should be a lot of fun. Well, you know the saying goes, boom! Tiggy Maximus signing off, baby. There, guys.